Today is Tuesday, the 14th of December, 2021. I don't know, it's 4:45 a.m. I don't know how clear in terms of audio is going to be because it's kind of windy this morning. And also, I know I'm going to have constant interruptions, due to the cars passing by. Now, of course, you can't see me, but I'm not really here to be seen. I'm here to be heard. Of course, it's dark out, so, But I'm back at it again. This morning. So basically what I'm doing is I'm walking every other day. Just under, well, call it in all, the full circuit is 11 miles. But I walk to about let's call it just under 10 miles. Then at that location, which is basically Smith Cove, because I'm walking from northward, takes me, give or take, roughly 4 hours to do it. As you know, I'm extremely overweight. But I walk to Smith Cove and then, I take a little dip in the sea. That time can vary. And when it's good weather, I can be there, an hour and a half. But with this type of weather, that the water's kind of murky. I'll just go into it for a couple of minutes and then I'll go and shower in a little facility that they have there. And then when I'll change into my, street clothes and head into Georgetown and do my business. Those who know me know that I do genealogical research for persons. So I'll go to the library or the archives and do that. I've actually started to write put my hand at writing short stories. I'm midway. Let's say about 95% completed 2 short stories so far. And what I actually hope to do is gather other like-minded persons and, maybe put together a little anthology. My idea is, well, actually I'm focusing pretty much on horror, sci-fi, horror, fantasy, that type of stuff. And, within the, of course, within the social fabric of the Cayman Islands, so it's like these horror elements, but like how Stephen King would have Maine, basically I'll have like somewhere in Cayman. But anyway, so what I want to talk about this morning is actually a concept that came to me this morning when I just woke up, and it has to do with time. And time specifically in relation to relationships. Yeah, my two friends here this morning. Oh boy, every morning they love running out here by the fence, making noise, but I don't see them come yet. Yeah, so it's in relation to time, but time within the context of a given relationship, of course, with another person. And I'm speaking now as it relates to man and woman. Now, oh boy, I tell you, now that I start talking and videoing, oh boy, cars will be just flying by now. But anyway, let me get to my point. Basically, I'm going to talk about what I would call macro time and micro time. That is macro time and micro time. Now, I define macro time as the overall time that you have with a person. So macro time is the overall time that you have with a person. So, in other words, you start a relationship. I'm talking from the context of a man now. Let's say, okay, you start a relationship with a woman the 1st of January 2021. And now we're at today's date. Now, in macro time, that's just shy of a year that you've been in the relationship. Macro time, the overall time that you've been in the relationship is macro time. So, let's say January next year, 2022, and someone says, well, how much time you've been with that woman? You gotta say, boy, I've been with her a year. So that's macro time. But how much micro time have you been with that woman? So let's chop it up now. You've been with her for a year. But out of that year, of course, each day has 24 hours. That's immutable and that don't change. Now, in every there's a week, 7-day cycle. Immutable. That doesn't change. Now, in a given day, you gotta sleep a certain amount of hours. Even if she's sleeping by your side in your bed, you're oblivious to her because you're sleeping. She's sleeping. If you get up in the night to take a piss, she's still sleeping, and vice versa. So Those hours of sleep, you put them one side, right? Now, what you do is when you get up in the morning, let's say you get up roughly the same time, and let's say best case scenario, okay, let's say you both get up the same time roughly and head out the house at the same time. That's now the time that you're together. That's micro time, right? Micro time is the time that you're with this person physically within their presence, right? Let's say roughly, within earshot, eye shot. You can see her or hear her. She's close to you, right? So that's micro time. Now, she gets up, you gets up. You have micro time there, but how much quality micro time do you have there? You're getting ready for work. She's getting ready for work. Micro time, but how much quality is in that time? Pretty much zero. She goes to work, you go to work. There's zero micro time there because you're separated. She's going to work, you're going to work. Look, even if you and her worked at the same job, in the same office, right? Let's say you were even co-partners in a firm, working together in close proximity, sharing the same office. You then say that is micro time. But again, what kind of quality time is that? No, some could argue that, maybe you suppose you love your job and you're working together and that's quality micro time. But let's face facts. What I just described to you, I'm sure that's less than 1% of the Cayman population. So I'm not even gonna count that pretty much. So you're separated. Zero micro time. All right. You come back after work, assuming you're in the house. Let's say roughly the both of you is in the house at 6:30. By 6:30. Between 6:30 and when you go to bed, assuming the two of you go to bed together, what is the quality of your micro time together in that house? You watching TV in one room or out there. She watching TV in another room. Fuckery, right? And I telling you that the case, the way most people is living. I can guarantee you that, right? Assuming that you're not gone out. Now, once you've gone out, micro time is no longer there. That don't apply. That's even less micro time. So if you go to the bar or she go to her girl yard, right? You've killed micro time together, right? So if you're together physically, how much time, micro time, do you have together? And what now is the quality of that micro time between when the both of you come from work and you go to bed, right? Now, all right, let's say you go to bed, right? And you gotta get the little thing on. How long that'll last? No, we all know some man out here that, I'm assuming because I'm not homosexual. So I never had no first-hand experience with any of these guys. But I know you got some man who can last. Or so I've heard. Um, you know, yeah. But how much micro time? Let's be realistic. You know, come on. Let's be realistic. You know the average dude. No, morning. You know the average dude not gonna be up on top of that for 4 to 5 minutes. Come on. So, right? And and you know, let's face facts. That no, no. And we all know, right, that in most households, I can guarantee you, most men and women don't go to the bed at the same time. I'm, I- I'm, I'm almost certain of that. And again, once you go on to bed, how long are you gonna be up and talking, about something meaningful? And I mean therapy sessions, like, well, you know what, they're good too. But, you know, so, okay, let's say you come together and you get in bed and, she start talking about her day, or you start talking about your day that you had. She start bitching about her boss. You might start bitching about her boss, right? The pillow talk. I call bullshit on that. Because guess what? Number one, most people don't do that. And even those who do that, in my opinion, that's gonna cause more problem than anything else. Because you bring in your problems in my effing space. Literally, my effing space. So, you know, you're talking about some man at the job that got power over you. How you think subconsciously that gonna make me feel as a man? Trust me, we gotta examine this society, right? How am I gonna feel as a man? You know, and even if you got woman over you, how I gotta feel? What about if you turn it the other way around? I'm talking to you about these things. How are you gonna feel? A lot of guys out there got woman bosses, right? You come home as a man and you telling your woman, you bitching to her about a woman boss that you got, right? I've had woman bosses for years, right? I didn't come home and complain to my wife about them. Now, I'm sure a lot of people be like, oh, that what your wife is for. You should be able to talk about your problems or whatever. But look, subconsciously, that's a fuck, that's a wreck. You gotta come home and you gotta tell your wife or your woman during your micro time about the power that another woman got over you. Listen to me, man. Wreck, right? She mightn't say nothing, but on her subconscious level, that is tearing her to pieces. Okay? And, you know, I challenge, let me say it again, I challenge any woman or man, right? You can have a different opinion, but I challenge you to come up with an alternative view to show how sharing that with your partner might be devastating on their psyche. That shit not right in my opinion. But anyway, now again we talking about macro and micro time. So I feel that, okay, let's say you gotta talk to your partner about these things, right? Because the two use again partners, right? Good. I think the healthy approach is number one, keep that shit talk about your job and what's going on your job, what's going on in the outside world, out of the boundaries of the micro space, physical micro, because that's now another thing. Space. Outside of the space of your bedroom. Right? Talk. Look, man, I would say your house should be sacred. Right? Your house where you live in, your living space should be set aside, sacred, right? And as such, man, look, I don't think that you should even talk that, I mean, like I say, in your bedroom, right? You know, but, you know, but if you got talk it, maybe talk that stuff out in the living room. If you got a yard, probably talk it out in your yard, right? Don't even bring that negative shit in your house, right? And while you talking about it, try to be working a way that the both of you can work out and come out of whatever situations are on your job. But again, macro time, micro time. So here is all of this stuff, best case scenario. Okay, let's say you're talking to your partner about this stuff. Here is all of this negative stuff that you have to rehash and hash out with your significant other, as they would say, within your micro time. That's eating up the quality of your micro time right there. I can see now, when I look into it, why people get therapists to talk to. And even that, it digs into some, depending a lot of your time. You know, if you're working and you got a therapist, you might fit in your lunch hour, right? Or a part of your lunch hour, if you're lucky. You know, dysfunctional. So again, micro and macro time. So when you really examine it, what is the quality of your micro time with your partner? And how long is your micro time? I would say, give or take, right? Quality micro time. Best case scenario, man, to wanna live in good and thing and together physically and not having distractions by, you know, other stuff. You lucky if you got 2 hours. I mean, look, think about it, man. Because you know, okay, people could argue micro time is the weekend. How much micro time do you spend on the weekend? Between Friday evening and Monday morning. What are you doing on the weekend? How much micro time and what is the quality of that micro time during that weekend, right? You at the bar with the guys, that's digging into your micro time. You've actually moved yourself out of micro time because, how many men that carry their wife to the bar, right? She gone somewhere else, right? Let's say, um, let's say, um, let's say you're of a religious persuasion. Well, if you're an Adventist from sunset Friday evening until sunset Saturday evening, you can't be doing what you want to do. That God time, you and her can't, let's face facts. A lot of Christian people don't have sex during their Sabbath hours. Cold hard truth. So, you're at church, whatever. Is that really micro time? Even if you sitting together in church, you in a room full of people, couple hundred people at least, right? And you're giving attention to the spoken word through your pastor, your reverend, or whoever it is, whether that's Sabbath or that's Sunday, right? So even if you go to church, right, which I think is a good thing, but even if you go to church, you're not share what's your micro time. You're together, but that's shared with other people. So again, how much micro time do you have with your partner? So you know what? Let's do a jump. Boom. You in a bad relationship. The both of you in a bad relationship. All right. I can guarantee you, in a bad relationship, your micro time, 100% of your micro time is toxic. That's a bad relationship right there. Your micro time that you have with your partner, which we know is not much, right? I need to sit down with somebody who good with math and do some statistics and work that time out. But I know it's not much. And it's not very hard. It's not very hard to work out percentages. That's one of the easier mathematics, but I be a little lazy sometimes. So yeah, work out that micro time. If that micro time is toxic, then how much time do you have? So what happens if you've been in a relationship, a bad relationship for 1 year? Your whole year was bad, right? That means your micro time was toxic. Your micro time was bad.